Okay, guys, we are officially recording. It is April 2nd. How in God's name is it April 2nd already? That's crazy to me, you guys. Like, it's crazy. But we wanted to chat with you guys today about um I feel like I said it funny when I commented. Spousal support, getting your spouse on board, and just kind of, I mean, let's be honest, balancing all of the things in all of life is really hard. Like that is probably one of the hardest things is to figure out how to balance everything, right? Like it can be tough. So, and a big part of that is getting your spouse on board. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of us on this call have probably had times with your spouse or maybe, just your significant other and have been where they are irritated that you're on your phone or you're spending so much time doing this or, um, maybe they're skeptical about this pyramid thing. And I mean, you guys, we've heard it all. I've heard it all. And we have had some experiences and we've learned some things through those experiences that we want to share with you guys, because the sooner you can get your spouse on board, the sooner you can get them to see the vision, the better for you, right? Like it's going to help you just catapult things. And I can literally tell you that from experience. So Megan is actually going to share with us some tips tonight. She has some information that she wants to give to you guys, and then we're just going to kind of take it from there. So Megan, you're unmuted. There you go.
Hi, what's up, you guys? Happy Tuesday. So this is a big one that I have actually been getting a lot of questions about from my team lately, like how do you balance? How do you get your spouse on board? What do you say when they are always mad at you that you're on your phone all the time? Things like that. So we thought it would be a good topic. And I actually had a lot of things written down from a previous training that I did when I was with another company about this very topic. So the first thing is communication in the beginning about why you're doing what you're doing. So knowing your why and why you're doing it and communicating that to your spouse and, helping them hear your vision, this vision that you have and why you want to do this is important. And communication that, saying, this is a business. I want to build this as a business. These are my goals with it. That's going to require this amount of much work, XYZ, these many hours a day. Communication about when is the best time for you to work your business. Maybe you have a 9-to-5 job and you have kids. And so having that communication in the beginning with your spouse about when's the best time, because you want time with your spouse as well. So saying, okay, maybe the weekends during this time, this block of time is the best time for me to work my business. And then this chunk in the evening after the kids have gone to bed. So it's really important to set that up and having that ongoing communication, because obviously life changes, circumstances change, things change. When I was working a full-time job, my work hours for my business were very different from what they are now. And so now the communication and the expectation is completely different because I'm home all day to work my business. So it's so different. So having that fluid communication and letting them know, and as things change, if you have new goals you want to hit, keep them involved in communication about goals in your business that you're working for, how close you are. It keeps them excited and feeling like they're part of it. And it also lets them know, hey, okay, right now it's the end of the month, it's crunch time. If she's on her phone, hard and heavy these last several days and she's working towards a big goal, I know why, and it's already been communicated and the expectation is already clear. So there's no miscommunication doing it after the fact, after it happens. It will save you a lot of arguments, I'm sure. So that is really important. Also, communication about picking up slack on household chores, because let's be real, if you are working full time, building a business, you have kids, they're in sports, you are doing all of the things, guys. Household chores, cleaning, that's not going to be moving your business forward. And there's very little time now in your day to do things like all the laundry that you were doing or all the house cleaning. So having a communication about having your husband pick up a little bit more of the cleaning and the laundry and things like that. And hopefully they'll be on board with that. Or maybe you're in a position that you can hire someone. Honestly, that goes a long way too, to have someone doing that, because you can't do it all. You can't be perfect 100% and completely balanced in all of the areas of your life if you're doing all of the things. And I know a lot of you are working full time and kids and this, so you're juggling a lot. So if the household chores slack a little bit, one, give yourself some grace, but have that communication with your spouse as well, okay? So delegating that stuff. And if you have older kids, delegating a lot of your housework and stuff to your older children will help you immensely as well. Having a time that you turn it off. So evening time is a time in my house that I'm supposed to turn it off and give that time to my family and my husband, because I've been working my business all day. So like, that's just about communication about the work hours, is like, this is when I'm going to work my business during this time, and this time I'm not going to work my business, so that everyone is clear, so that you're not just always, because it's so easy to just be on your phone all of the time. It really is. Another big one that will help you and that will help him see the vision is to prove him wrong. If he's skeptical and thinks this is not going to work, prove him that it does. Show him the money, basically. Do like until and despite, like, I am going to make this shit work until I succeed, despite what my husband thinks. No, but really, it's once you start succeeding in your business and you're paying the bills, or you're paying for a family vacation, or you're able to give your kids karate lessons this month, they start to be less and less skeptical. It starts to make sense. They start to say, wow, this is making legitimate money. Like, we're able to do these things that we weren't able to do. Okay, so she's on her phone. I know that at least it's freaking paying off. So really, that is like the biggest way, is to like just have so much success that he has really nothing else to say. And then bring them, if you can, bring them to a convention or to an event. This was huge for my husband, was when he came to our last Ellepreneur convention. If they can come to a convention and meet the people, because to them, it's like, in some husbands' eyes, or like, it's kind of this thing where it's like, it's this online thing you do. It might as well just be scrolling Facebook to them, in a way. I'm not saying that that's what they really think, but in a way, it's like you're talking to all of these online friends, and they're like, are these even real people? Is this even a real business? You're not even making, and in the beginning, when you're not making money, it's even hard, because they're like, and you're not even making real money. Like, is it Monopoly money you get paid in? Like, what is this, right? So if you bring them to a convention where they can actually meet these online friends, they're all of a sudden not just your online friends, but now they are actually your spouse's friends as well. You guys are just now considered friends, right? So that is the coolest thing ever. I know that Kelly brought her husband and I brought my husband, and they had a little bromance at the convention. So it just helps your spouse know that it's real, helps them see that it's an actual business, changing actual people's lives, hearing the testimonials about the products, and hearing the testimonials about the business, like all of that stuff, seeing the corporate team, hearing about all these people's success. It just makes it a little bit more credible in their eyes, and it helps them see the vision. So those were my top kind of tips. So if you guys want to piggyback off of those.
So obviously, you guys, like Megan was just saying, my husband also went to convention. So for those of you guys who don't know, I've been in network marketing for 5 years, and I was like, so Megan had success in Beachbody, guys. Like, she was like 5-star Beachbody coach. Like, I only hit diamond. So I was bringing in those $28 paychecks like for a long time, long time. So by the time I got to coffee, guys, Craig was like, okay, I'm not even going to try this shit, honestly, is what he said. I'm not even going to try it because it's a load of crap. Like, I'm done with this. Like, good. He always believed in me. He believed that I could do it. But by this is my sixth company, you guys. But by the time I got here, he was like, okay, Cal, like, come on. It's your sixth company. Like, we're going on we're at 4 years now when I signed up for this. It had been just 4 years, like right around my 4-year anniversary. And he's like, come on, what is going on? And so he had always said, like, I believe that you can do it. You can succeed and set your mind to whatever it is that you want to set your mind to. But he was very, very skeptical about the company, about the opportunity, about the fact that it was ground floor. He had heard these things before in his life, right, guys? Like, I had talked about them before and they didn't work out previously. So when I signed on to here, he was like, okay, Cal, I had to sneak the coffee into his coffee in order to get him to try it, which I know a lot of you guys know that, but I had to literally roofie my child, my husband, not my child. Oh my God. Oh my God. I had to literally happy roofie my husband in order for him to just even give the product a shot to see why I was actually really liking the product. And sure enough, he ended up falling in love with the product. And that helped for him to see the vision as well, because he lost 55 pounds by literally just drinking the coffee. Okay. So once he was able to see that the products actually worked, like, that does help too, because then they realize, like, oh, wow, I can see why they want to talk about this. I can see why they want to share about this. And it's not just the business side of things, but it's the product side of things. It's the emotional side of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, those things all kind of intertwine with one another. And I mean, to be completely honest, and it is kind of the hardest thing for us to come here and say this to you guys, because a lot of you guys are growing and, I know you guys are making money, but you're making probably not your goal money, right? Like, I know I'm still trying to hit my goal money. And so you're at that point, I've been at that point, and I know how hard it is, because the money is definitely going to be the biggest thing that's going to make them believe. Okay. That is, and I don't mean to say it's unfortunate, but it is unfortunate, because that is going to be the thing that maybe takes the longest. Okay. And that is not going to happen overnight. And that means that it's up to you to really focus on your balancing, AKA, that's why I was like, I really need to get my organization together I said that to Michelle right before the call. I was like, I got to get my organization together. And so that means it's really up to you to focus on balancing until that paycheck starts coming in. Okay. And like our next convention, I mean, I know that they're going to make ANMP, like our summer convention type thing, but our next convention's not until November. Okay. That's a long time away for them, between now and then, for you to have to wait for them to, hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe you guys can make it to work. It's obviously hard to get your significant other to come with you, especially if you've got kids, like who's going to watch the kids. Like, it's tough to get them to conventions. We understand all of this, guys. Like, we're not trying to give you guys unrealistic expectations here. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that message, if you got a message from somebody, they can sit there and wait for a little bit. Okay. Sit there and eat dinner with your family. Okay. Sit there, turn off your phone. You guys, even people on this team, have messaged me, and I sometimes don't respond right back right away. Sometimes a couple hours pass before I get back to you. Okay. And that doesn't mean that I don't love you, but that just means that I have other things in my life that I've got to accomplish first. And it was really, really, really hard to learn this. And that's why we wanted to make a point to talk about it tonight, because it is hard to put the phone down. But until you guys are bringing in those big bucks to really show them, yo, what's up? Plata queen, right? Like that's what my husband calls me now, which it's just a joke. But he's like, okay, you're plata queen, you can do whatever. So, until you get to that point where you feel comfortable with your paycheck to, have them be like, sit down kind of in a way, you've got to really just be focusing on balancing, on including them in your successes, including them in on the things, if you signed a new customer, tell them, share that excitement with them, share the excitement of you rank advancing with them or for, with your team, share every day I tell Craig, like what's going on in the business. And he asks about Megan and Jermaine every single day. Like he wants to know now, like what I'm up to and what's going on. And that's because I think I share with him so much. He literally says, what's going down in the DMs today. So like, he wants to know what's happening. And that's because I try to share with him all of the things, right? Like he's a good sounding board. I want him to feel included. So yeah, that's my little tangent that I have for you guys today. Jermaine, do you have anything you want to add? I thought I unmuted you. Okay.
So you guys, it's so true. If you start to involve your spouse, they're not going to be resentful anymore. So when you first start out in network marketing, you're super excited, right? And you start like doing all these things you didn't do before, and you're posting on social media and you're taking all these selfies, and you no longer start being in your life because you now live on your phone, and they don't know what you're doing because they don't understand any of that. So I remember when I first started, I was making friends with like random strangers online because that's how we grew our network, right? And my husband, he was in the Navy. So he was like, oh my God, ISIS is going to come and get you. And you can't put any pictures of me. And, like he was just like, you can't do this. And the people on my boat and blah, 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 blah. And when I get deployed, don't talk about it. And there were all these rules because he swore to God that ISIS was going to come and get me. Well, you guys, ISIS didn't come and get me, but I just had to explain to him that this is how I'm going to grow my business. The people in my network right now, they're not going to help me make a lot of money, so I need to make new friends. So he was like, whatever. And until today, he still thinks I'm crazy because I'm still adding strangers, but it's what we do to make our money. And like Kelly said, when I first started network marketing, he was in the Navy and he was on a sub, so he was gone all the time. So he didn't see the work that I was doing. And a lot of the money that I was making, I wasn't making big money, but the money I did make, he didn't really see it because he was always gone. So he just thought like, okay, my wife is bored and she's lonely and she needs some friends and maybe she's going through like midlife crisis, so we're gonna let her do what she needs to do, right? So that's what he thought. And then I told him, I'm going to retire. I'm going to fully retire you with network marketing. And he's like, whatever. So I told him that in, I don't know, like 2016, maybe 15. And then my business started to crash, right? And I told him like, this isn't working out for me anymore. And I think I need to move on. So he was like, do whatever you need to do. Like whatever, you and your little hobby, like freaking stay at home mom. So I joined another business because my friend I was really close to her and she's like, let's do it together. So we did it together and he still didn't believe it, you guys. So I finally took him to an event with my last company. And that was when he started to realize that, oh my gosh, like this is real. People make real money. It's like a real career. Like it's pretty legit. And then he became so emotionally attached to that company because he started to get to know people. And when I was telling him like, yeah, this isn't working for me, I'm going to move on to something else. You guys, he was upset. Like he was mad and he told me it was a bad idea and coffee is never going to work and I'm never going to make it because I keep hopping around. But I was like, it's fine. So I did not tell him that I joined coffee. He told me not to join. Don't do it. Maybe we'll wait until like the first of the next month because you guys at the time, like we were struggling. I wasn't making money. So we went to my convention in February And I joined Coffee in like the end of June. From February to June, I probably made $14 that whole entire time that I was with that company. So hello, I know that I need to move on. But he was so invested in those people that he didn't want to. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. I didn't tell him until I got myself like 15 customers. And that was when I was like, okay, so remember when you said not to join that business? Like 7 days ago, I joined and I got 15 customers. So he couldn't be mad anymore. But now it's different because now he sees that I am actually focused. So my first business, he didn't see me do anything. My second business, he saw me put in a lot of work and not make any money. And he saw that I was taking it seriously. That's something you really have to do. If you want them to take you seriously, you have to take your business seriously. If you say that you are going to sit down and do your work, you have to actually do work because they're paying attention to this. And yeah, my house, I don't clean my house a lot because I'm working a lot, but I communicate that to him and he sees the results. So like Kelly was saying, and like Megan was saying, in the beginning, you have no results. So it's hard, right? You have to start involving them and you have to make them understand that, hey, there's a lot of people who do this and I'm not going to make a lot of money in the beginning, but here's the potential. And that's all they want to do. They just want to be included. So now my husband, he knows Megan, he knows Kelly. I tell him all the crazy stories that we talk about. Like he knows about the people on my team. I tell him how much money we made for the day or how many customers I have, or I even tell him about how Jana's freaking insane. And he knows these people. And because he feels like he's connected, he no longer gives me a problem about looking at my phone or like I didn't clean the house or whatever it is. He just leaves me alone because he knows that it's going to pay off. So you just got to communicate it. That's it. Like take it seriously, involve them and bring the excitement to them because they just want to be a part of it.
Yeah. I think that I really, honestly, you guys, you got the biggest thing that she just said that I'm like, that's it. You got to take it seriously in order for them to take it seriously. Period. If you are not showing up or not doing, the things that are going to grow your business and you're just like, oh, I'm going to make a new cover photo today. Like, guess what? That's not going to help your business grow. Okay. Like, is a new cover photo awesome? Like, should you spend time on that eventually? Yeah, heck yeah. Like, that's for sure. But you need to be focusing on the things that are going to grow your business, right? Because you got to be taken seriously in order for them to see that this is legit, right? Like that's the only way this is going to work. So that was kind of an eye opener for me. That won't bring in the money and your husband will never take it seriously. If you're making cover photos and like just not, and it's so easy in this business, you guys, to get distracted by like all of the fun things, right? Like graphics. And I am going to try and start doing the shout outs for the top 10 in the dynasty. And like, I forgot how long it takes me to make graphics. So it's like, just be aware with what you're putting your efforts in, because they're watching. And if they see you just screwing around and not taking this seriously, and not saying cover photo, like not saying your cover photo should look like awful, but I also don't want you to spend like 45 hours making a cover photo. I'm just kind of using it as a random example. Like obviously they're going to take you a lot more seriously if you are talking to people, about the business opportunity versus making a cover photo. Like that's just how it's going to go. So, basically focus on income producing activities first, then do all the fun stuff after, right? Like that's what you need to do, period. So, okay guys, well that's like all we had for you tonight. I do just want to mention, stay tuned. We don't have all of the piece. It's a moving puzzle, but we are going to drop a little bit of a hint tonight. We do have something fun happening that we're going to get rolling for the month of April. But it is a moving part. We're kind of just figuring out the finalized details of it. So we decided to not talk about it tonight, just to not confuse anybody. And we're going to make a separate post once we kind of get everything sorted. But we do have some fun stuff happening for April that we are going to challenge you guys too. I know a lot of you guys are pushing for some huge ranks, so and goals. So I really highly recommend you guys go in the Dynasty and share what your goals are this month. Like, we should start making that a thing. Go in and make a post, share what your goals are. Do you want a certain rank? Do you want to make a certain dollar amount? Do you want to sign a certain amount of people? You know, like, hold yourself accountable and do that. I am pushing personally for Royal Black Diamond, which is a huge rank. So we are pushing and having fun. I want to help quite a few girls on my team rank up too. So share that stuff, you guys, publicly with your upline, with your team. It's the beginning of the month, so now is the time to proclaim it and put it out there. But yeah, I hope you guys all have an awesome rest of your night. Keep your eye out in the Dynasty, and we will see you guys all very soon. We love you. Have a good night, guys. Bye. I can't prospect. I need to make a cover photo.